morning show with Bruce and Shannon.
That's Shannon and Bruce, remember?
Oh, my bad. Some cool topics.
And things you maybe didn't know yesterday.
So let's have some fun, and you might just learn something new.
So here they are.
Bruce
Shannon and Bruce. Oh boy.
Hey, yeah, good morning. Texas 46 radio folks out there. It's Bruce Allen with you, along with my lovely co-host, Miss Shannon K.
Lully? You love it.
No, my lovely.
Oh, you said Lully.
Oh, I said it fastly. I said it fastly. So
said fastly.
get to join us here and enjoy intelligent conversation with us this morning for the next hour. And, intelligent
All right,
conversation.
the pressure's on
And
now.
and we're over on Facebook Live on my
on
my
page?
personal page.
Are you on your radio page too?
No. Do you have your phone with you?
I do not.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this here real quick. Let's see if I can just go back over here, and I'll share. Just take a moment to share with your friends.
Sure. So it's oh gosh, what is the temperature outside?
I'll let you know here. I'm gonna go right.
So I've got the window open, so you're gonna hear chickens and stuff.
Oh my!
Because the windows are open and I'm hot flashing. So more information than you needed, but it's just, and I turned the fan on. So thanks to Cindy Mitchell, who gave us a fan for the studio.
Yes,
I guess it was for the kids' room originally. It's a gorgeous fan.
I gotta go. Let me just keep talking. Cool. Let me just go ahead and I gotta go back and redo since I shared.
So like when your fan gets outdated, just paint the blades.
Yes. Perfect.
Like this one, it's so cool because this one, it has some sort of weird. It's like the traditional old-fashioned chunky brass fan that you would get. It's like take that and then spray that kind of weird like flex stone whatever finish. Is that what it used to be called? Finish on it.
Like the magician?
I don't know.
Oh, it's Blackstone. The magician.
Anyway. And man, you can like you can reconfigure. You can salvage a fan and make it gorgeous for a space.
Yeah, just repurpose it.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
We are masters at repurposing.
Oh, we are masters at repurposing. That's for sure.
I see a feather floating.
Are you?
It's just on its own, just kind of doing its thing.
Hey, come on by and join us on Facebook. We're on Texas 46 radio page. That's Texas 46, the numbers, and radio. Or you can go to my personal page. And those of you that are privileged to go to my personal page, or are friends on my page. Privilege? It's the coffee. So let's talk about the coffee first this morning.
I think the coffee hasn't kicked in yet.
It hasn't kicked in yet. Couple of things. This is what I do. Who also does this? These are all kind of recommendations.
Recommendations.
I have neat little mugs that we come across. This was a
Goodwill find.
It was a nice $5.50 cup at Goodwill now with their price increases. Cup formerly known as 30 cents is now $5.50 at Goodwill.
Golly. That is a huge pet peeve of mine that Goodwill went up on their prices. They like it doubled. And
minimum.
You can literally, I can go to Ross and buy the same stuff brand new. Because they're, because the CEO, I guess, isn't making enough money yet, making his billions. So, they've got to go up on their free stock that comes in free, donated stock. They've got to go up on the prices so the CEOs can make more money.
So remember the next time you have a garage sale and you really having a hard time trying to sell some things, just remember what Goodwill is selling them for and
do not donate what's left over to Goodwill.
And lowball your price lower than Goodwill. At least you can probably be able to sell it.
Well, I mean, don't take your. This is sad to say, but
I know
I will not. I don't.
Goodwill is our last resort to take something to now because of.
If you've got really good stuff, take it to someplace that really could use, like communities and schools or hospice,
stuff like that,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Good morning, Berlin.
Berlin says,
how are you? She says you've good. You have the same shirt on as her today.
We have the same
You are
shirts on.
twins.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.
So back to my coffee.
Tom Guerrero is also watching.
Yeah, Tom. Class of 81.
Sorry,
I was
I'm like,
watching.
come
That's
on,
okay.
Schwartz.
I know, pay attention, right? So with my coffee, who does this? I got sidetracked with the
Nobody.
mug thing.
Good.
I take my mug. As long as it's microwave safe, I microwave it for 30 seconds. Just the mug. Preheat
See?
the mug. Now
I put water in it just because I don't want it to pop.
As we know that we can put a dish in the microwave, even though it's microwave safe. Put one in for 3 minutes. You can take it out. You put another one in for 3 minutes. You got to use a heating pad and welder's gloves to get it out of the microwave because it's like hot.
I have these mugs from Target that my oldest bought me, and the first few years they were fine, and then like the after that, now every time you zap them in the microwave to reheat your coffee, the mug gets hot as heck, but the coffee doesn't.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
But what's always funny to me is that out of all the mugs in the thing, you picked the one with the purple sparkly.
I don't know. I don't know why. I picked. I
always
picked
pick
this
that
one.
one.
It was one of these things where
Why?
we were
You
going
picked
through.
it when we went to Goodwill. You
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, I like this one." I'm like, "That is such a girly mug. It has
Is it really?
purple.
Oh well.
You love purple.
Okay.
That's so
All right, well,
funny.
it's
You
really pretty
pick
cool.
Purple often. Do you realize that?
I do.
That's so funny.
Okay,
Men
so-
usually don't pick.
So I
purple.
got the call. I warmed up the mug
You would
because
think you'd pick a man.
because it gets cold in here quickly. When I heated up the mug, I know.
You put it in this, and it does.
Well, you know that's good for 6 hours.
That is
of
that
hot
ain't
coffee.
that the truth.
I know either last week or for my interview with Jenna Catherine on Monday. I had my mug in that. As a matter of fact,
yeah, in my pink
and I couldn't-
sparkly mug.
and I took a sip and it was like scalding.
Yes, I know. I have to be really careful right now because But you always pick the nice purple mug. But you know what? What some people do not do with their coffee, they don't put marshmallows in it like you do.
Oh, come on! Of course they.
He
Yeah,
puts
I
marshmallows.
put marshmallows in
his
it.
coffee
So that was my next
every morning.
question. What are your add-ons or
Creamer.
add-ins?
Chocolate creamer.
Yeah.
Sugar-free chocolate creamer, nothing else.
Let's see.
Oh, but no, I'll put like turmeric, cinnamon, and clove on occasion.
See, the oxymoron for me is that
Oxy.
oxy and moron. I use the sugar-free chocolate creamer, and then add a tablespoon of chocolate of sugar.
Yeah. No, I mean that's okay. I mean, because you like it's to taste. But the funny thing is that then you put marshmallows, which are basically sugar,
Yeah, I know. Add a little more sugar to it,
in
and then once that
foam
melts and I have to
form.
reheat my coffee, I go like, oh, I don't have any marshmallows in there, so
It's just-
let's put some more
you
marshmallows
put
in there.
more in. You're such a
Such
dork.
an idiot. Howard Jurgen, little Howard's watching this morning.
Howard, do you put marshmallows in your coffee?
Don't ask Howard about what he puts in his
Look,
coffee.
Exactly.
What Howard puts in his coffee, you have to either have a prescription for, or
Yes,
it's not over the
or
counter.
you have to live in another state.
Oh, we're just funning with you. We're just funning with you, Howard. If the shoe fits. Okay, and then the other thing is, I didn't really even think about it until I cut on our Keurig coffee maker and let it go. I have a name for our Keurig.
Oh, is his name?
It's Chewbacca.
So we'll just call him Chewy.
So when it starts, it goes.
I know. I'm not sure what's wrong with that thing. We done that from the day we.
You stand there with your hands on
we
your hips,
lost
and
our
it's kind of
first
you just kind of
beautiful
watch
red
it.
one is gone. She retired herself. Now we're using this other one that was for his studio, and that thing makes so much noise. It's like
It's just like it's clearing its throat the entire
the
time.
entire time.
Okay, so now that we've kind of warmed up a little bit, you feel free to you can feel free to jump in at any time. Now, here's kind of how we do things in here sometimes. If I have something in my head that I'm afraid if I don't write it down, I'm going to forget it, and I need to speak it right away.
Speak it right.
Speak it right away.
Okay.
I'll put my hand on my wife's knee.
To shut me up.
No, that she knows that I've got something
up.
that I've got something important to say coming
Shut
up.
me up.
No, that's not
Oh,
what
come, admit it.
All right, to shut
me
to shut
up.
your
Thank
yap.
you.
And you just keep going. Okay. So you asked me a question yesterday about.
See, he thinks he's funny way before he tells you.
I
what.
know.
He'll start laughing and just keep laughing, and you're like, "What?" And he's like, and then you go ahead.
You questioned me about how I put on my underwear.
No. I said, do you?
You said, do I?
Yes.
You said, do I lift a leg or not lift a leg? Basically,
No,
is what it was.
that's not what I said. I said when you. That is not what I said.
Well, that was my
said
answer. That was my
when
answer, though. Go ahead.
Oh no, I said. So when you because we're older now. So I said, when you put your underwear on after you've taken your shower, do you toe heel it?
That's
and
right.
he
That
goes,
was
no.
the words.
You toe heel it. Like you like set it on the ground and you put your toe in, and then you rock your foot.
I first thought that she asked, do I march when I put my underwear on?
He said no.
Toe heel. Here I
Well,
go.
I realized why you don't toe heel it is because you can't
I can't.
reach your toes.
So I'm the one that will. That's where the lift the leg came in. I'll lift the leg, and if I need to, I will. Yes, I will use the wall as an anchor.
That's the thing, yeah.
Because the one time that you don't have a backup plan, and your foot gets caught on the way in.
What happened to your ear? Oh, I can't hear you.
Foot, huh? Oh. There. Okay.
Yes, there you go.
If
you don't have a backup plan?
If I don't have a backup plan, and the foot gets caught on the way in and doesn't make it through the hole.
There you go. That's why I toe heel it. Because I'm like, whoa.
I'll be and it's like getting your shoelace caught in the bicycle chain.
It is.
So.
And if you've got a cat in the room like I do,
and
you're afraid you're going to squash the cat.
And I've done that, so that's no.
Well, see, your bathroom is small, so you can just go like this and touch both sides.
And then magically, the underwear just rises up.
No,
to
I
your
mean
butt,
that
or what?
keeps you from falling.
Okay,
see?
I've got my balance, but I can't get the underwear on. Kind of like you're trying
No,
to.
I mean if you're
trying to scoot it up a little bit.
Be like the bewitched lady and go ding ding, and your underwear just goes swoop right up.
Ooh.
Of course, for a woman that'd be fine. For a man, not so much.
Not so fine. It could cause some issues, and if you do too much of a doodle 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 doodle, it could give you a wedgie. I don't know about that.
I think the wedgie wouldn't be your problem.
So, like I said, intelligent conversation with Bruce and Shannon this morning.
Did you learn something?
Did you learn something? As a matter of fact,
do you toe heel your underwear on,
matter of
or is
fact,
that a
yeah.
woman's thing?
I know.
I remember the day when I could just stand on one foot, put one foot in, and then put that one down, and then put the other foot in.
What do they have a name for
and then
that?
pull them up, and then you're done.
Do they have a
now
name?
I set the underwear on the ground, and I toe heel one, and then I toe heel the other, and then I.
The next step is a chair. I'll sit down
and
right
Neil
here.
watches me in great entertainment.
Yeah. I'll sit down right here, put on my socks, and then I'll put on my underwear, and
See,
then I'll stand up.
I refuse to sit on a toilet bare-butted because I could just sit on the toilet and put my underwear on, but I'm not going to sit on that cold seat bare-butted.
Oh my God! Especially if I have to go in there and sit bare-butted and then sit where you were. Just
thank God you don't go in my bathroom.
don't use your.
I have the master bathroom. He has the boys.
We have the boys' studio bathroom here. That I hope whenever I have any female guests that come here to the studio that they have gone to the bathroom before they got here.
Well,
it's all about a mirror.
Huh?
It's all about a mirror.
It is. It's because they want to check themselves before they go
so that's
on
why,
air.
That's why the studio door needs to have the mirror.
That
I need
mirror,
to get it back on.
It's right there.
I know it is. It's in pieces, but
well, maybe you should put it
together.
Maybe you should put it not on the studio door. Maybe you should put it on. I don't know.
There's more light right there, but it's.
I guess
but
so.
I see.
You really do. You need a mirror here so that they can check themselves before it. Yeah.
I know.
That makes sense. But okay, so he has the small bathroom. He and Alex have the small bathroom, and I have the big bathroom with a cat in it. Because we have so many birds, we have to keep the cat in the. But the bathroom's, you could put a bed in it, and my bathroom is the foofy bathroom, and his is the cool dude's
I'm having
bathroom.
issues with this.
And
channel here.
so it sounds like I am like Miss Prissy because I've got the fancy bathroom, but you've got the big bedroom, and I don't sleep in the big bedroom. I sleep in the closet bedroom, closet.
All right.
In my closet.
All right, this is enough with this one. Let me switch channels here. I don't understand what is going on with this.
I've got that song in mind. That brother jukebox, sister wife. Anyway, so he doesn't like the water pressure in my shower. So you're still not there. It's the cord, babe.
It must be the cord.
Blow in the end. No, you can't. That's not going to work. You can't blow in the end all the way from
in there. But it's
wiggle the wiggle wiggle it. It's probably shorted right.
It's going in there.
There you go.
But it kind of like
don't move.
I try. I don't move it or anything, and then all of a sudden it just kind of like just kind of whispers out on me.
I'll try to remind you.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So that's I won't sit on my.
Terry Elliott's watching. At least the Toronto Rocker chick's watching.
So how come we can't? Do we have to roll that up to be able to see?
It doesn't. All it does is show the comments.
I know. That's what I'm trying to.
Well, there's no comment. Those are just telling me who's watching. See, Howard was the last one that said marshmallows.
Oh, gotcha.
Terry, while I'm thinking about it, how's your mom doing? So you can let me know.
You don't have to let him know right here.
Well, she can because that was
information.
Well, no, that was one of my customers that I said that the ambulance was there.
Yeah.
I was just unless I
You're
saw
putting
that.
her information out there, dear.
Well, she can message me or text me, or she can send me sign language. I can see that there. Manny Castillo, rock and roll extraordinaire, watching this morning. How are you, my friend? Hope all is well on the rock and roll end there. Let's see here. What do we?
So I have an appointment today to the is she I don't know if she's a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant. I don't know what the difference is between the two, but anyway, she's really good. I really like her, and she put me on cholesterol medicine, which worked great. It worked great, but oh my gosh, I don't like it. It makes you feel horrible. Makes you feel like you went to the gym every day and you've got muscle pain from that, and so I'm going to talk to her today, and I'm going to see if I can do red yeast rice, this right here, instead, and see what she thinks of this. Now, if she says no, I'm going to be a little frustrated because I really like when you have a doctor who is willing to do the holistic version if it works.
Mm-hmm.
I like the ones that are willing. So we'll see what happens, but anyway.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, you take a medicine, it's supposed to help you, and then the side effects are worse than.
There's for a lot of them, there's like 3 different versions of the same kind of medicine, and some work well for others, and you could take another one that may not. It'll do the job, but it may not affect anything.
Top of the line one, and I don't. It's.
Well, we never get top of the line. We always get used or something like that. So
generic or whatever. But I'm not sure. I'm hoping that she'll let me do this because I really don't want to have to endure that much. Discomfort.
Oh, no. It's not.
Anyway.
That's no good. It's not
Go
fun. No, I'm fine. I've got the coffee and the leg lifting underwear thing. Here we go. The Facebook Live. Any of your Facebook Live videos that you have on Facebook, they will be deleting after they've been on there for 30 days.
Really?
So I think that's going to be like at the end of this month. I think that's when it's going to.
Oh, you're out again. Sorry. So if you
All right, so we'll.
is it that?
I don't know. It could be the cord. It could be the cord having an issue.
Well, I know that if you get dust or something in the ends of the cord, sometimes it can cause an issue. So I don't know. Sounds like
so-
you've got a short. But
so we'll
anyway,
see.
go ahead.
Yeah, so we'll. So
Facebook Live. So like the church posts and everything are no longer going to be. That's weird.
Yeah, I think that's how that works with that. I guess so. That's going to be weird. So your question probably might be, so how do I save my Facebook Live videos? Okay, so here's what I do, because I take if I have a Facebook Live that I've done, or for the ones like we're doing this morning. If I want to save this, we need to go back, and you need to download it, and then you can either save it on your computer or put it on YouTube, which is what we'll do because we have a YouTube channel.
Okay, so you have to like download all of your Facebook Lives to YouTube.
Most of them.
That's a lot of them.
Well, most of the ones I already that we've done with interviews and stuff, I already have on YouTube.
Okay.
But for our live ones, like we're
Our
doing
morning
here,
shows?
our morning
Aw,
shows,
man.
I'll need to take.
That's a lot of them.
Yeah, it is, but that's okay. But
That's probably 30
I'll get
plus
them on there.
videos.
It might be.
You need to find the really good ones, like the one where I took the quail egg and just smashed
Well,
it
see,
in your
those
head.
are already. Yeah, I know. Smashed it right on my head.
funny.
That was good.
That
But
was
those are already on YouTube. They're
really?
already there. Yeah, I already put them there.
Oh.
So I this is how I do it. So what you do is you end up going to your hey Lady Harley, how are you this morning, Valeda?
Later.
So what I normally do, you can get these downloading things or whatever, and I try not to download a whole lot of stuff onto my computer. But
That's
what
a
you're going to do is
That is a
you're going to
lie.
here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to your live video on Facebook. You're going to go ahead and click on it and get it onto your screen. Go to your
The three dots or something?
no, what is that called? The
your bar
your search bar that has it all on there.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go ahead and highlight it, but only highlight the www part. Okay, so what you're going to
Facebook.com live producer.
yeah.
No, wait,
so
wait.
what? Okay, let's just say for instance,
Three-point-
I'm afraid to punch this.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to do it.
So what would
it'll
you?
say so if you do it all together, it's going to say it's going to go www dot, and then it's going to
Okay.
show the rest of that. So you're going to highlight www, and in its place you're going to type M as in like Mary, and the word basic BASIC.
Okay.
And once you've done that, punch enter.
Mm-hmm.
It will pull that up onto your thing. I get onto your screen, and you'll be able to go. It'll have a download thing where it says download
Oh,
video.
interesting. Okay.
So
So I was watching, or when we were at the house last week, we were listening to a podcast with Elon Musk and what was that other guy?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, and they were talking about YouTube and how many thousands of videos are downloaded onto YouTube every day, like hundreds of thousands of videos every day. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you store all of that? You've got to have a massive building with like giant towers of
Information.
battery. I don't know. That's crazy. Anyway,
But yeah, I it's
there's a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you'll be doing some of that coming up.
I'll be doing some of that before the end because it'll stay once you've done a live like for today, for instance.
Well, I usually
it'll
don't
stay
do
on there for
live
30. It'll
now.
stay on there for 30 days,
Yeah.
and then then it's
Well, I usually do videos and then I download the video, which takes a lot of time. But on occasion, I'll do a live and I'll walk around the chicken yard to show everybody what it's like just to walk the chicken yard for a day. So I'll be sad when those are gone because, that
yeah.
it's kind of fun
I
to
know,
see that
but
stuff,
we can always go back there, and I can if you find some, I can get them loaded.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Irene
it all.
Irene Ramos Taylor, Irene Taylor. That's DJ Mike. Mike's wife is watching this morning, And they do a lot of YouTubing and video stuff. Of course, we don't talk about that much because that's all in the privacy of their home. But they and they have their own channel for that. So look her up. Ask her about it sometime. Ask her about their.
He's kidding.
I'm sorry.
He's being naughty.
And then of course there's. Am I fading out already again?
No, you're good.
Okay. There's a sheriff of the city.
Rick Alvarez. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Straight out of a Western movie, right there. Yes, look at that.
Get over the perfectly placed wings. I know.
Yeah.
He's like, what is that? The FTD florist guy.
No, see, I was thinking more of
Wolverine.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I see you more in the tights.
I know. Yeah. Oh, she's
Sorry.
See, everything's kind of delayed here right now, but she also replied, "Wow." So she's probably saying, "Wow," either for the wings or for my comment about the YouTube videos that they make. I don't know. It's all in good fun, Irene. And if you're coming on here, if I have something to say about you, I will.
He's a dork.
And Alvarez, good morning. Good morning, brother. Good to see you here.
So I saw on there, it says, did you remember to move your clock back? So is that it? Are we done with daylight savings? For sure?
I don't know, but see, they said move your clock back. No, we didn't move it back. We moved it forward. So the question was, how many people moved it back, or how many people moved it forward? Did somebody screw up and go backwards?
Mike Taylor, our secret is out. That's hilarious. That's funny.
I tell you what, quality television, indeed, isn't it?
I think
Yes, we did. We sprung forward.
Yes.
forward, and so did you, or did you forget? And the next morning you woke up and you had several clocks showing different times in the house.
Okay, well,
I
think that we need to be done with that. I think there's no reason to do it. It just confuses our brains.
Well,
Trump's reason for it.
Trump is working
Why?
on it. He
I
was trying to
understand the
do his
reasoning
thing.
that they had back in the old days, but there's no reason for it now. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Just
it's
leave
just
it.
a mental stressor.
So do you like the extra? We're sitting out. We had it.
I just logged in. What happened?
What happened? Just get with your wife, Mike. And all I can do is recommend make sure you use quality 4K video cameras.
I can see us going to dinner with them and being in tears laughing.
Oh God!
Just out of y'all's silliness.
Oh,
Okay,
gosh.
go ahead.
I forgot where I was. Where were we now? What were we talking about?
Yes, but if we have to.
Oh yeah, daylight savings time. If we will be having dark at 6 forever, and I can't have that.
Well, but it doesn't matter. It's just it's in your head. The time is just in your head. It's
No,
not
it's-
actually
no,
changed.
It's not. It's
It's
not the
just-
time. It's not the time. It's the daylight thing. We're sitting outside. Okay, for example, we're sitting outside. Do I have your attention?
No, I'm reading. She's saying
He leaked
our YouTube channel.
You know the
the one.
Yes. That's right. This is why. Hey, this is why we're nominated for Internet Radio Station of the Year. We don't win, but we're nominated.
He wins.
Yeah, he wins. You're
Okay, good.
you're a winner, Mike. So we're sitting outside after end of the day, having a beer or whatever, and the little lights come on and it gets dark. Okay, and we're looking at the stars, and then we go inside, and it's like, all right, it's 8:00. We can maybe watch a little TV after we shower and stuff like that. Now that the time's 4, I like the extra. I don't mind the extra daylight. I like the extra daylight. So we're sitting outside, and it gets dark, and we come inside, and it's like 9:30,
But that's fine.
and it's like, oh my God!
We have watches for reasons. You can actually put like little things on it and have it say, "It is this time."
And so what are you doing?
Works great.
What are you
I don't
doing?
have a watch.
Pretending.
I don't.
We have watches. See, the time says
I don't go by the. Okay,
hair past a freckle.
So look. This is my thing. I am not a. I don't have a 9-to-5 job. My job is my job is, what do I need to do right now here on the farm? I grow vegetables and that sort of stuff, and whatever. So I don't really need the whole clock thing. I don't, unless I have a doctor's appointment or something. I don't even look at the time. I try to stay. I try to take my sleep medications at a certain time, and I try to do that the same every night. But other than that, I just don't pay attention to the time because I feel like it's
irrelevant.
For me, it is.
Yeah,
it really is. It's irrelevant.
That's fine.
So it's just, I kind of just go with the flow of the day. And so if the sun is out, then I'm outside or whatever. And then if the sun goes down, I get ready for bed.
There you go. So let me real quick here clarify some of these comments, and I appreciate we appreciate you commenting on things. Valeda says, "Oh no, when it gets dark, I'm going to sleep." Now let me remind everybody that Valeda does not drive at night.
Neither do I.
Okay, because when it gets dark, she's going to sleep.
Right.
So she doesn't drive at night. So when she gets behind the wheel, she nods off.
she
just goes to sleep.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
But that hour.
And that didn't quite get the punch that I was expecting from it, but it worked out okay.
You were expecting it from me.
I was. And Irene says, "Let's do it." Dinner, I mean. All right. And Alvarez says, "Does the time change mess up your roosters?" No, they're already messed up out there, and they do.
They do whatever the sun does. So yes.
Or if they think the sun is out.
Okay, so if we have a lot of cloud cover, and it starts to get dark early, so their frame of reference is, can we see enough to keep ourselves protected? And if it starts to get dark in whatever way, whether it be cloud cover, rain, or time change, they'll start getting their hens in, and they'll start they'll do what they've got to do. In the morning, they usually start to go off about. Okay, so the morning calls.
Yeah, you pick a time. You go ahead and
no,
say.
it's actually they read you, and so like we had a neighbor who used to get up at 4:30 every morning or something like that, and you would hear the diesel go. And our roosters learned that and thought, okay, well that's when they want to get up, so I'm going to crow at 4:30 in the morning, and they still do it. And so I almost feel like they learn you, and then they become your alarm clock in the morning. Yeah. And then when the sun is up, starts to come up, then they all just start to go off.
Yeah, because they go. If I hear a bunch of them going off, and I open my eyes, and it's still dark outside.
It confuses you.
It's going. Oh, God.
I noticed.
But I've gotten so used to it that I go right back to sleep again, because they notice the error of their ways, and then they finally go back to sleep again until the sun comes up.
Yeah, Valeda, I do too. When at night when I'm driving, she's saying I actually quit driving because I have night issues with the lights. So you're halfway true. I do the same thing. The headlights that come at me, they triple. I don't see one light. I see like three.
And that happens for a lot of people.
I think it's a stigmatism thing.
It could be.
Yeah.
It happens for a lot of folks. So good things going on this morning.
Every car light makes theirs crow. See, that's the thing. It's like if you have a neighbor that gets up at 3, then those roosters are going to start crowing at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Gosh.
It's almost as if they learn the surrounding, and it's like, oh, you want to get up at that time? All right, I got you covered. And they have an internal clock for some reason.
Yeah.
But when it comes to when you have fewer light hours, so chickens, to lay eggs, they need light. So the less light they have, the fewer eggs they lay. So they have to have for every egg, they have to have a certain amount of hours of light for the egg to get laid. And wow, that sounded bad.
Punctuation is crucial here.
This is for an egg to be laid. Never mind. Anyway,
a chicken to lay an egg.
for a chicken to lay an egg. Yes, there you go.
I'm your helper.
Thank
I'll help you.
So when you have fewer daylight hours, you get fewer eggs, and when you have more daylight hours, you get more eggs, and so it's really interesting. But anyway, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'm enjoying.
That was a good conversation. Thank you for that question, Rick.
Yes. And quail.
They are
If you
laying
have quail actually takes needed about 16 hours of daylight. So you have to have artificial lighting out there. So we've got light through all the pins.
So it's like
that go on at
for
dusk
chickens,
and go
it's
about
like
2
they
hours.
have to have 36 hours of. But I don't know if it's 36 hours or
No, you
36
said-
hours of daylight.
No, you said every 30. You said about every.
They
36
lay every 36 hours, but I don't know if they need 36 hours of daylight
No.
or if they need a certain amount. It has to be amount of daylight that they.
Yeah,
They can lay an egg every 36
Yeah,
hours.
it's like 12 hours.
But like our
whatever.
ducks lay eggs. Well, when they're laying, they lay eggs at the same by 9 o'clock every morning.
Yeah.
Like every morning by
Routine-
9 o'clock,
routine.
unless they have like a random little fart egg, which just is like
Yeah.
oh, and then they drop it and go.
So good conversation. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. We're having
And
some
yes, so Valeda said they sure are laying now. They sure are laying now. I love that. I think it's so much fun.
got some more cool things going. We're going to talk about the farm, and I'm not talking about the chicken farm. I'm talking about another farm my wife's got going on over here.
Everything we have. So we're not.
what's
Are we a farm or are we a homestead?
I think we're a
I
homestead.
feel like we're more of a homestead because we don't really sell a lot of our stuff. We just eggs we do some,
Yeah.
but that's it.
So I'm going to
Anyway,
tell you.
go
I'm going to tell you what. They have the old National Day calendar out there. Some people always wonder, like, what is today? What should we be celebrating today or be doing? Well, one of the things is National Open an Umbrella Indoors Day.
Why?
Yeah. So, because there's not enough things to do for the
What
day.
is the reasoning for that?
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Well, thank you for that segue right
Yes,
there. Shannon.
please
Say so.
explain.
National Open an Umbrella Indoors Day on March 13th annually is a national science experiment of sorts.
Okay.
Open an umbrella indoors and pay attention to whether or not you suffer any bad luck.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that. It's
So-
like I will not walk under a ladder,
Well,
but not because it's bad luck. It's just because.
it's because I'm probably on
can't.
top of it. If it
And they're
falls,
too short.
Ah!
And why would you bother? I mean.
Yeah. and all the
for bad luck. Yes. See, very good.
yeah, and of course most of the ladders we have are all about 5 foot tall.
That's
so
what I'm
you really
saying.
have-
I would have to like crawl.
Yeah.
No, but I still wouldn't do it because of I totally forgot about the I'm sorry.
That's right.
I'm gonna break something.
No, I didn't want you to hurt your hand there.
So yeah, okay.
Very good. So we're moving right along with
not
some
either. I'm not
great
So
topics
you
today.
have National
Well, I don't have to do another one. I
Good
just,
Samaritan Day.
yeah, National Good Samaritan Day is another one. Is day known as
Where a
Good Samaritan
helped a
Involvement Day
stranger
and
who
celebrates
had been
kindness and
robbed
also.
beaten. Oh, I didn't know that. So it's based on the Bible story where the Good Samaritan helps the guy on the road after everybody else has passed him.
Yeah, who had been
Yeah.
robbed and beaten and left to die by the side of the road. The
Yeah.
Samaritan.
You know, so I have a pet peeve when I see stuff like that where, even on a movie where they have like somebody, we were watching some sort of movie, I don't remember what it was, and this girl was being bullied by this guy on a subway, and nobody was doing anything. And finally somebody started videotaping, and then the guy turned on her, and then finally, and so she backed off, but then finally another lady started videotaping, and I thought, that we need to have a lot more situations where people don't, if they're on a road or if they're out in public and they're being attacked, people all together need to turn around and help the person. I was like screaming at the TV.
Well,
But
you'll see a lot of videos where Good Samaritans will stop at the aid of a police officer that's being accosted by the suspect that they're trying to.
That's good. I get really
That's
frustrated with
hard.
the people
That's
who
tough.
just pop their phones out and just start videotaping instead of helping.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
That's,
okay, so
So let's you want to go to
so
the
let me show you a couple of things.
Okay.
So like 2 years ago, we buy those when you go to the grocery store. You see those bell peppers. It's like red, yellow, and orange bell peppers in a package. They're kind of expensive, but then when you open them up, you get like seeds like this. I don't know if you can see how many seeds. It's not really. Anyway, so you can actually.
I'll take it. You keep
Yeah,
talking, and
you
I'll
can
just-
actually grow those seeds, and they will actually do really well. Now, your produce is not going to see. You're not. Oh, there you go.
Oh, look at that.
Look at those seeds. So your produce is not necessarily going to get as big as the ones that you get at the grocery store because these are highly, fertilized and stuff. But you can highly fertilize yours. But you're going to get some decent bell peppers, and my bell pepper plants have lasted me 2 years. And so you do have to fertilize them. I grow mine in pots. I don't even grow them in the ground because I like to be able to turn them. I like to be able to take them out of the garden and put them back in the greenhouse and then back out to the garden if I want to for whatever reason. And so those Bruce and I planted seeds yesterday, and some of our seeds, literally there were 16 seeds in a itty bitty seeds in a package for $2.49. And I was disgusted in the fact that there was so few seeds in this package. I mean, like barely enough seeds, and the seeds weren't even in good shape. I mean, they weren't even good, hardy looking seeds. And so, yeah, so if you want to, if you think, well, that's got a lot of seeds, but I'm sure those won't grow. Yes, they will. They'll grow. They'll grow you a really pretty plant. And if you fertilize it well enough, you'll get bell peppers, and then when they're growing, they'll be green and they'll stay green for a while, but then you wait. And then after a while, they'll turn orange or they'll turn yellow or whatever. So anyway, don't think that won't grow. And then we talked to a guy, and I'm going to try this again. I've tried to grow potatoes 100 times, and I'm never successful at them. And I don't get seed potatoes, and I probably should get seed potatoes, but I don't know what the difference is. So anyway, Bruce had bought these tiny potatoes, and we had 3 of them left. And here you go, cameraman. And we had 3 of them left, and they sprouted. And so I'm going to try again to plant potatoes. And so there was a guy at Home Depot who said, hey, do you plant a garden? And we said, yeah. And he goes, you want to know what I do? And so he started telling us, I thought that was so neat. He started telling us how he grows potatoes. And so he said he takes a box. What do you say he uses? Like boards or something? 2x4s. Like 2x4s or whatever. And he builds a box. I'm thinking it would work better with even a thinner, wider board. But anyway, he builds like a square or a rectangle, and he puts 2 potatoes, and he puts the dirt in. And once they grow about a foot tall,
yeah,
he pinches off everything below the head of it. He pinches everything else off. Then he puts 2 more boards around the box, and then he fills that in. And then he waits, and when it grows again this much further, then he pinches those off, and then he puts another board or 2 and fills it with dirt. And then after a while, he takes the bottom board off, and he said there's potatoes in the bottom. And so he said then it produces potatoes from the bottom, but the plant still grows. So you get potatoes for a long time. And so I'm going to try again. I have never been successful at growing anything more than, something about like this big, or like about 20 that are about like that, and then they're done. So we'll give it a go.
I think this would be a cool idea.
Yeah.
I'll build that for you.
Let's see. I have those also. I save a lot of the vegetable seeds and reuse them. Yeah. I mean that's what we've done. My favorite vegetable to grow is these really long beans. They're called asparagus beans.
Yep.
And my asparagus is growing in the garden too, by the way. But they're called asparagus beans, and they grow about they grow like golly.
A minimum of a foot. A minimum of a
yeah, I guess so. I've had some that have grown to like 19 inches, and they taste great, and so and you can eat them raw. And
well,
they
I
taste
say a
amazing.
lot of times they don't. So if you get a couple of them, they might not even make it in. Kind of
And
like the
so
okra.
on occasion, like they'll grow on your plant, and you'll miss one, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I missed it. But just take that and then pop the seeds out and save them, and then you can do it all over again, because the asparagus bean seeds are hard to find. They didn't have them at Home Depot, and they're great, and they're expensive. You only get like 20 seeds in one package for $3. So
Let's see. Hey, got a New York Times photographer, Mark Daniel. Well, don't you wish? He says, will daylight savings time affect the start time of the fabulous J. Eric and Rumor Town show this Saturday night at the Watering Hole Saloon? It only affects unless you don't drive at night, because by the time we start at 9, it'll still be, you will have just missed the end of daylight by the time you get there.
yeah. So while he's playing, or while he's about to play, when do you start?
At 9.
So, wow. So,
Yeah.
Right about the time you're starting, I'll have already had my beer and been sitting outside with my beer and
seen a
cheese,
few,
and I'll be putting birds away.
Seen a few satellites and enjoying
Seen a few satellites.
enjoying your evening stress
So
free.
tonight is the blood moon, or the worm moon?
No,
Or what?
the worm moon
what a
is
worm
going to be
moon
on the 15th. It's going to be after the.
What does it mean? What does
what-
a worm moon mean?
I don't know. You want to
No.
ask her? She's. Excuse me.
Is she hooked up?
She's.
Alexa,
Oh,
her
come
device is
on.
offline, dear.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had her. Yeah, shush.
She's-
Hush.
Gosh,
I
gosh.
had her going for a while.
had her going.
I had her going for a while. Then she lost connection.
Let's see.
So yeah, so the blood moon is today and
Here, a
tomorrow.
box of small mixed colored tomatoes from herb in a compost pile, and they grew a ton of plants. Oh, the blood eclipse.
She
Okay.
yeah, she said I threw a box of a small mixed colored
Oh,
tomatoes.
HEB. It's from HEB. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the blood
Yes.
blood moon, the eclipse. So it's going to be today and tomorrow. Is what it said, the 13th and the 14th, and then the worm moon, which I'm not really sure what it is, because our Echo show here that we spend so much money on, it just
I'm glad you didn't say her name, because she would have been like, "I'm sorry, but
I'm sorry, but I don't know.
understand a thing you're saying."
Okay, so what I can do here?
So,
just
okay.
keep talking.
Okay,
I'm going to
this
go ahead
is so
and I'll
funny.
find
So
her.
as I was watching, or as I was listening to the podcast with Elon Musk and that other guy, whatever his name is. Anyway,
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. So while I was watching that, so he had an AI on there, and oh gosh, what was he calling it? He had a special name for a certain AI, and she was kind of a rough, a vulgar AI, basically. And so he was talking to her, and she was hilarious. And he said he has like 8 different ones with different personalities or for different things. One of them is like for medical stuff, where you can ask medical questions, and you can like, he was talking about something like you can send all of your blood work and medical information to this certain computer thing, AI sort of thing, and it'll tell you what your diagnosis is, which I thought was really interesting. But anyway, he was doing this AI that she was awful. He was talking to her, and she was like smarty pantsing him back, and all. It was really funny. So anyway,
Future of AI. I did look up.
Future of AI.
I did look up. Why is it called a worm moon? I think it's the same kind of. It's kind of like different names for the same thing. So it says what to know about March's full blood worm moon. Okay.
Yes, but why is it called a worm
Well,
moon?
here's it says other northern names were the crust moon.
Oh,
because
okay. It says nickname may have come from the earthworms typically found as spring nears, according to Old Farmer's Almanac.
Where'd you see that?
Right there under the thing. What do you see?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the thing on the bottom.
The thing you looked up. It's right
Well,
there.
I was looking at this right here.
Oh,
It says and that's correct here.
that's interesting.
It says because the northern names. I'm sorry, because the snow cover became crusted from thawing by day and freezing by night, or the sugar moon, as this was the time for tapping maple trees.
Oh,
More
wow.
southern tribes called this the worm moon after the earthworm casts that appeared as the ground thawed.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so
So something
that's really interesting.
something you didn't know
So
yesterday. that you know today.
they call it a worm moon because it's the time of the year when the earthworms start to
It just gives the
to
appearance.
evolve. So when we were planting, we planted all of our seeds yesterday and got them in the greenhouse and everything. And the nice thing about living on our little homestead is, we had the pots from last year. So we took the dirt from the pots from last year. We dumped them into this thing that I got from one of my best friends. Her mom had this copper double. It almost looks like a sink, but it's just copper tin that is made into like a almost like a double sink.
Bowls, yeah.
Yeah, and it's only about like that. And so I use it for planting. So I dump, stuff in one side, and then I move it back and forth from one side to the other to mix stuff. And so we dump one pot into one side, and then we would go get ash from the compost pile or from the wood stove ash bucket, and we would go to the rabbit area that we have up front, and we'd go underneath the rabbits. We were scooping the rabbit stuff into a bucket, and then we were mixing that into our stuff, because you can use rabbit poop right away for your plants, where chicken poop has to break down because it's too strong. Rabbit poop you can use right away. And so when I was doing that, I was scraping all this great rabbit poop and some of the stuff that had broken down into a pot. And when I did that, the worms haven't come up yet. And so you scrape it and you see little tiny baby worms or some holes or whatever. But you normally during the summertime, when you scrape it like that, you see tons of worms down there. But they were all down low because, hasn't been warm enough yet. But I had to laugh because after I did that and walked off later on, I heard all the ducks over there going, and they were all
taking care of our worms,
trying to suck those worms up off those holes. That was cute.
Deli's open. Come on, guys. Come on, man. Come on over. Yeah, that was such a great idea. And here's the funny thing. I was going. I thought when I got the rabbit poop.
I asked him to go get some rabbit poop,
I got the pellets.
He just brought me pellets, and I was like, "Honey, okay, the pellets from the top layer just go about. You've got like 2 inches of just a
silt,
like a rabbit silt. Get that!" And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, idiot. So
where did you get it? And
so that
said,
was
under the rabbit.
That was my first time to use rabbit poop. So I digging it fresh from the ground. So I see, because I was always used to. Because it was always so, like I told you, it was always so wet underneath there, and it was just full of worms and stuff like that. And we used it more for earthworm. But I saw where you were coming from on that. It was perfect. It was great. So
when I met my husband, and he and I would go to his parents' house, I've always been a bit of a outdoorsy sort of farm girl-ish personality, I guess. I don't know why I was raised in my mom's house, because she was, well, she liked to plant stuff and everything too. But I always wanted to live on a farm. And so when I would Mom would kick me out of the house because I was annoying her. She would say, go outside, and I would walk along the street and try to find worms after it had rained or tiny frogs and stuff like that. So when I started dating him and I went to his parents' house, like on an Easter or something like that, they had a frog in their backyard. And I went, oh, frog. And I went to go get it. And she goes, oh, don't touch that. You'll get warts. And I said, you don't actually get warts from it. She's like, oh, yes, don't touch that.
Oh.
And he was like, no. I was like, oh, here, no, touch it. And Bruce is like, no, I'm not touching that. And I thought, what?
And now
What's the problem,
now
people?
Now I can do. See, now that I've lived with her,
I just like go, here, hold this frog, plop.
Here. Hold.
But
Yeah.
he wouldn't
I
touch
hold-
worms. He wouldn't. He was terrified of rodents. And so, like, when we moved this house out here, there was my mom and I were like pulling sheetrock off of this one room on the back porch. And when we pulled part of the sheetrock off, this rat ran. It went over her shoulder, ran down her back, and she and I, we screamed, started laughing, and this man, I've never seen a man move so fast in my life. He was right behind us, and the next thing I turn around, he was out of the building, down off 3 foot down, down the ladder, out of the building, and 20 feet that way.
I'm
out the
sorry.
front of the
I'm sorry.
house.
That was not a rat. That was a small dog.
That was a giant rat, and it ran down my mom's back, and she and I were just cracking up.
It wasn't even
and
the.
he is like, oh my god!
It wasn't even the color of a rat. It was like some kind of hybrid thing.
Okay,
I can see it.
so-
I can see its teeth from 20 feet away.
Now go 10, 15 years
Later.
further, and how close do you get to rats now?
Well, if it's in a cage, it's a matter of inches.
No,
But,
no. I mean, you will go out to the chick room, and there's always
there's
you
always
know,
one that's gonna.
I know, and
but I'll
and it's right there. Do you freak and run the other direction?
only when it's no. I don't run.
No,
the only time
thank you
only
very
time I
much.
freak it's when it's the startle effect.
Yes, but you don't run anymore.
But I don't run
You just
anymore.
go,
Ah!
and then
Yeah.
you go, or you expect it. You walk in, because I'll watch you. Sometimes you already know that it's going to be there,
Yeah.
and you'll walk in, and you'll be like, hey, dude, how's it going?
Because I know sometimes where they like to sit and gather for their for
their meal.
for their meal and stuff like that. So let's talk about meal.
Yeah,
we got,
talking about
meal-
worm
worms.
moon things,
worm
whatever.
things, whatever. It's just it's a great
okay, so
it's a great
this
segue.
is fun. This is another. This is me.
So I'll
I am
be
so
the cameraman
weird.
for you.
I am so weird. I'm sorry. I am weird. But I find things fascinating. So I have tried to raise earthworms, and without success, they all escaped or die, But one time I got them all. I finally had them going, and they escaped out of the box, which was hilarious.
You should have
Not.
you should have seen them. Where did they
And
go?
then there was one time
There they go.
when
Oh.
a skunk or something found my worm box, and it just went in there and just had a meal, and I was so mad.
It cleaned us out.
Yeah. So I have learned, not that doesn't work, but anyway. So I, when we started with the chickens and everything, there was this lady on the chicken page or something, and she was talking about raising mealworms, and she was, talking about it and showing her mealworms in a little container, and so I decided to go ahead and send off for some mealworms, and I think it was like $14 or something for a bag of 100 mealworms, and I started raising mealworms for my chickens. And so unfortunately I don't give them to them as often as I should, which you will see, but I raise them, and sometimes I'm successful, and other times I neglect them for a while, so they start to cannibalize each other. But I've had them for years.
Real quick, say where people would find where mealworms are found.
Well, mealworms grow in compost piles, and
But that's- that's
you
where-
can go to Walmart or the feed store, and you can get dried mealworms for your chickens. I wouldn't know how he was like, well, how do they dry them? Do they put them in a dehydrator alive? I was like, I don't know. Maybe they freeze them and then kill them, freeze them. I don't know what they do.
know what they do.
But I prefer to grow them alive. And so yeah, so you can if you want to do this, if you want to do this for your chickens, let me know. Maybe I'll give you some. Maybe I'll sell you some, or you can get some online.
She'll show you how to get it started.
I can show you how to do it. So basically, when you're raising a mealworm, you can you can get a shoebox, like the plastic shoe boxes that you get from like the dollar store or something.
Oh, sorry.
And don't get sick.
Okay.
So you can go holla nickel.
Holla nickel. Oh, holla. I'm so sorry that you joined us right at this time. But, it is what it is.
So you can go to the dollar store and you can get one of those shoe totes, like this. And you can take the top and now you can either I have taken like mesh and put mesh over the top and just like tied it off or whatever tied something around it or whatever, like a tool or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can take the lid and poke a bunch of holes in it. You have to poke quite a few. But these I tend to not put a lid on them because if it gets too steamy in there, you'll actually grow grain mites. And then it's like a dust and it's really annoying. And so I kind of prefer to just do it like this. And I put a paper towel on the top so that they can get their darkness from that. But this is probably my more successful group of mealworms. And they like the paper towel. They like to grab onto it. Yeah. I know, my very first beetle on this batch. So I have another container, a very large container that has mealworms. But
your discretion is advised.
It might be a little gross for some people. I find it cool. You basically can you take your shoebox thingy and you put oatmeal in the bottom, or other people use other things, but I use oatmeal. And then like when you shred your carrot or you shred your cucumber or whatever, you can put that in here and they'll eat that. They're vegetarian, so you don't want to put anything fatty in here. You would just put like greens and stuff. And I don't know if, I wouldn't put onion in here, but you can put like potato peels, banana peels. You can just throw a full carrot in here.
What about Lowry seasoning or anything like that?
No.
No.
But anyway, so it's really cool. And the worms will turn into a beetle. And then the beetles look like this. See this little beetle? They do not fly. The beetles do not fly, even though they have wings. They don't fly. But they will walk out if you've got, a way. They can't walk the sides of this, so they can't escape this. Unless you've got like something touching it that can let them walk out. But the beetle is really, they don't bite. It's a really easy little creature. The beetle will mate another beetle, and then they'll lay eggs in the silt. So you never want to get rid of your silt, unless you. There you go. So you can see they don't bite or anything. They're not really gross.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a lightning bug without the.
Or a click bug.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a really easy little thing, but so they lay eggs in the silt at the bottom, and so you can sift the silt when the worms start to
let's get
grow. Okay, so now are you ready to see the gross part?
The movement of the ground there.
Yeah. So you can see I've got part of a I don't know, bell pepper or something. They didn't want to eat that. But okay, so let me show you. It kind of looks like I'm trying to figure out which end is the most alive.
Most populated.
Yeah, most alive. So you can see.
Oh my gosh! Oh, look at that!
See them move? Isn't that creepy, gross? Oh, but so cool. And they don't. Isn't that weird? So you can. And it doesn't. It feels a little weird. It actually feels kind of cool, but they don't bite or anything.
But you can
It feels so weird.
You could feed these to your chickens like this. One she's got it. Shannon's got it. I'm sorry, I'm not by my mic, but she's got it down now. It took her. It took you. How long did it take?
No,
you?
I've always had it down. It's just you know what the difference is this time? I'm feeding them.
Oh.
Where before I wasn't really feeding them, and so I was neglecting them, and now I'm feeding them. So yeah, you can see how fun that is.
Wow.
There's Hank Strickland.
Hank Strickland.
Hank, always an education.
Always an education.
Yikes, I'm a farm girl, but I'm not touching that. No, it's really not bad. It really isn't.
Hey Hank, we'll go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and give you a jar. Send you some of these. You can take on your next
snack.
bike ride.
So when the worms get to where they're going to be beetle stage, it's kind of like a butterfly. It's kind of cool. So when the worms get to a beetle stage, want to go to the beetle stage, they form like a weird little cocoon like thing, and so that's what this is. I know you can't really see it. So this is after a worm has cocooned itself into a little thing, and so inside that the beetle is starting to form. And when the beetle comes out, it's real light in color, and then it starts to turn dark after that. So it's really cool. My cousin's son, Candy's son, raises frogs. He has a frog, and so I gave her a bunch of these for his frog, it's really easy to do, and it's kind of fun, and the chickens go nuts for it. So if you really want to make it does, Hank, it really is cool and gross. If I had grandkids, I would so totally freak them out with that.
Yes, you would.
I used to freak Alex out because if I found a frog
or a snake
or anything, I would bring it into his room, a baby possum, anything. But the best one was one time I brought a frog into his room, and he was like, "No, it's gonna jump," and I said, "No, it's not," and it did.
Boing! And he jumped out of his pants, man.
I swear. He was
so
mad at me, and then it peed on me, and he was so ticked. But it was funny. It was so funny.
I was wondering where that wart came from.
Funny.
No warts.
But I have brought snakes and stuff in there. Now he just looks at me like, "What'd you bring?" And he just kind of backs up and goes, "That's nice.
Yeah,
Go away.
You're a good handler."
Go away.
You know when you come walk, I'm gonna show my son when you come in with a 4-foot snake that you got out of the.
Hollis says, "I have 8 she's got 8 grandkids. You're so lucky, blessed.
Got to get some.
To freak them out.
Yes,
it is. It's actually kind of fun. It's what's really fun is when you give it to the chickens and they grab one and run to try to. So tell them what you did to our quail. All of a sudden our quail were dying. And he didn't know why the quail were dying. And so he said, "Honey, the quail are dying, and I don't know what's happening." And so he was concerned. So I went out there, and I looked at the quail that were dead, and they had these little things around their eyes that were like fleas on a dog. They had them, they're called stick-tight fleas, and they were attached around the eyes of the quail. And I don't know why they attach only around the eyes, and they go on chickens too. Eyes and wattles, and it's really weird, and the comb. And anyway, so to get rid of them, you put Vaseline and you use ivermectin or whatever. But the pen, he was getting ready to spray the pen, and we always use the organic sprays and stuff because we don't want to use anything bad. And so all of a sudden I said, "Hey, wait a minute. Remember when we bought you that, what's it called?
Torch.
That torch?" I said, "Can you just go into their pen and use the torch and just cook the ground?" And so he goes, "Oh my gosh, that's what I'm going to do." So I'm holding a hose just to make sure, because we mulch our pens and stuff. And so he was like, doing it, and every once in a while the mulch would catch fire, and I was putting the fire out while he was doing that. So he was torching the ground, which is a great way to organically get rid of any kind of bugs or parasites in your chicken
Yes.
pen. And so he was doing that, and there was like a roach in there that got cooked. It was still alive, unfortunately,
Barbecued.
but it was a little bit cooked. And so I go, oh my gosh. And I was like, barbecue, ladies. And I went and I took the roach out, not by hand. It's one thing I won't touch is a roach. Nasty things. And so I took the roach with something else. I took the roach out, and one of my Moran hens, she runs and she grabs a hold of it. And instead of just eating it right away, she just ran around hooting and hollering that she had herself a barbecued roach.
Look what I got. I got
And
it.
she ran around for like a whole minute not eating it, just hooting and hollering, telling everybody, look, I had, na, 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 na.
But then she was being tracked.
She was being tracked. And so finally she had like 4 hens chasing her, and so she gobbled it up real fast.
Yeah.
But that was
That is so
funny.
funny. For those of you that do have chickens, that whenever somebody finds something, whether it's a grub or something edible, you're gonna be
They
stalked.
grab it and they
They're
run.
gonna stalk you, and they're gonna try to. It's like you see one going, and then you see like 3 or 4 others following. I'm gonna
but
get
then
it.
what's so funny is when it's like it's like playing tag. It's like you see one, she finds it and she runs, and then another one runs and she takes it, and then she runs, and then another one runs, takes from her, and then she runs. And it's like, oh, where's it now? Oh, that one's got it.
Somebody
They're like,
jacked my grub worm.
it's like grubworm football.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get our chicken of the week.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Chicken of the week. And so while we're doing that, she's going to be a few minutes. I'm sure she's going to find something pretty cool. Yes, J. Eric in Rumortown, yours truly right here, will be at the Watering Hole Saloon on Saturday night. So if you want to do some indoor dancing to some great country music, come on by. It's a $5 cover to get in. And we'll start at 9, I believe. Yeah, it's a little bit of a late start. We were hoping we can kind of start a little earlier for the earlier crowd, but hey, we might be able to. But I think it's a 9 o'clock start time. They have dance lessons and stuff there too, so we'll be doing that Saturday night. So come out, have some fun with us. Weather-wise, what are we looking at for this week, or for this weekend? Let me just pop it up here real quick, so I can do something intelligent while I'm waiting for Shannon to get here. It's not gonna. There it is. Okay. So, yeah, it's taking its sweet time here. Here we go. High of 92 today. So there we go. A low of 62 in the morning. 96 for a high tomorrow. 58 for a low. Then we're going to get a little bit of a cool front come through, where the rest of the week is going to be highs in the lower 80s to upper, even into the 70s. Next Thursday is like 73 for a high. So it's nice to have that coolness come through. Love it. So so for Saturday night, coming out to Watering Hole Saloon, high of 80 for the day. It's going to be nice, sunny. We'll see what we can be doing. So the wife, I see what you got picked there. Now I need to be your cameraman for again. So we're going to end that today. Thank you guys for watching everything. And we're going to enjoy this little segment here called Chicken of the Week, and led by my beautiful co-host right here.
Co-hosts.
Co-host. Here we go.
Okay, this is so.
Hold your breath. Oh.
Okay.
There we go.
So the other night I was sleeping about 3 o'clock in the morning. I start to hear this hen who is just ticked off. She is so mad. She's freaking out. And I go outside, 3 o'clock in the morning, grab Bruce's headlamp. Thank goodness he had one in here. A chicken, a farmer's best friend right here, headlamp. If you don't have one, get one, because oh my gosh. Anyway, so I almost knocked that down. That would have been bad. So I go outside, and this little hen is freaking out. She's broody right now, so she's sitting in a back corner of the pen on the ground, while the other ones are sitting up on the top of a coop. And she has a visitor in her pen who I don't know how the little booger manages to crawl through the chain link, but it's a big skunk that has the white body skunk. And she's ticked off because it went underneath her to try to get an egg, which she didn't have any under her because I had collected them. And so she was mad. And so I thought, okay, I'm just going to open the door and see if the skunk will come out. So she comes out. And she's still pissed off, and she's screaming at this I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
So she's screaming at this skunk while I am you sidetracked me, babe.
I know I did.
So she's screaming at this skunk, telling it to get out of her coop and off of her little area, and but she's standing at the doorway, and so the skunk won't come out because she's standing at the doorway, and I've got my headlamp on, and so I grab her, and then I back up, and I'm like, okay, dude, the door's open, get out, and so I'm trying to get him to go out, get him or her to go out, and it peeks at me from behind the tarp to see what I'm doing, which I'm cracking up because the skunk is really pretty and it doesn't seem to want to leave the pen. And so finally I look, and it has curled up in her spot, and it's like, I'm just going to stay here. And so I had to bring her inside because she wouldn't shut up. So I had to bring her inside, put her in a laundry basket upside down on a puppy pad for the night so she would shut up and I can go back to sleep. And then the skunk just left at some point of the evening and crawled through. But she's hilarious when she's, dadgummit.
Oh, that's a.
Thank you, Miss Lady. Dang it.
That's
Got me on my.
Did you get you?
You're taking a picture of my crotch, babe.
Oh,
don't take a picture of
No,
my
let's
crotch.
go down to the floor.
The poop on the floor. Yeah, it's like in 3 spots. It went like right between my jeans. You can't.
There you are.
You can't. She's giving you the stink eye.
Look at her there.
You can't. When she's laying on her thing, you can't tell what is her head and what is her butt because she's like my own personal tribble. If you've ever watched Star Trek, she's literally like a tribble. She is a barred frizzle. So she's like if you were to take a silky and mix it with a frizzle, but it doesn't have the silky feathers. It has like a regular hen feathers. So, it's what I call a satin. If you mix a satin with a frizzle, you get this, but you have to almost mix it with a cochin so that you don't have the big bird and you don't have the you get the bump fluffy tail instead of the regular chicken. So it's a breeding thing. If you want to breed one, it would be a satin, a really good quality satin with a frizzle, and you're going to get this. And so
aerial view here. She's actually not very.
She's not very
here's
big.
my hand
yes.
right here.
So she's literally she's like a pound. I don't know. Is she a pound?
I don't know.
I'm not sure she's a pound.
She's only about a foot long from tail
And
to
she's kind of like a chocolatey color. She's really, really cute. And the day that I lose her, I'm going to be really, really unhappy. But she's look at she just slides.
Who
Look at
needs
this.
who needs a lazy Susan when you got that right there?
I love her. Look
And look at
her
the
little
feathers. Look
at her
The
skirt.
unique thing about the feathers is that they fold in reverse.
Huh? What do you mean?
That's the only way I can say it. Is that the feathers curl upwards towards the
Oh, they
head.
do. Yeah, they loop up. So so like her collar, if you do this, they all like pop back.
Yeah.
And she literally, I mean, like it feels like silk. She's so cute. And I love that she's barred, and Chocolate, she's enjoying her massage. So all of these feathers are more like silky feathers. They're a little bit more fluffy, as you can see. And then these top feathers are, she is like kind of freshly feathered. So she has very few of her feathers that are broken right now. So that's kind of neat. And she's just really cute. She's really cute.
What a doll.
But yeah, she is
You
a
think
doll.
You think she'll eat a mealworm if you put one down?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here, I need to name her something. You want a mealworm, Miss Lady? All right, so this is good. This will be fun. Here. Can you see?
There's probably too much going on.
Is she looking at it? I don't think she's even looking at it.
No,
Look,
I don't think so.
lady.
You want that? She's going like, what the hell is that?
Here.
Oh, she knows what those are.
You put it on the ground.
Here. Oh.
There you go.
So I think she's freaked out because I got the camera here by her.
Well, she may not have ever had a fresh mealworm from me.
Oh, maybe not. You want one of those?
She's not normally inside either.
Probably looking at it.
Tilt it up just a little bit so you get her. Are you going to eat it?
She's debating
She's
on
like,
it.
what is that?
I don't know. Sorry for those of you listening on the air only. Just visualize.
I think there's too much going
I
on.
think so.
She's
just
like,
visualize a chicken trying to eat a worm.
she's not trying. She's looking around your studio like,
staring
where
at it.
am I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
So anyway, yes. No, watch. She freaks if you don't pin the wings. So when you pick up a chicken, you pin the wings so they don't flap them. But if you do pick them up without flapping, and she screams. So that's what she was doing the other night. So she's my skunk alarm. She's like,
It's okay.
you're so cute as you are.
Oh my goodness! What a great way to end the show, as always. Here,
She's a vegetarian. She might be. No, believe me. When she gets a hold of a bug of something, she takes off. It's just she's in the studio and there's a lot going on, so she's like,
oh my gosh!
aren't
Let me
you
go
cute?
To,
Aren't
is
you
there
cute?
here any? Oh, wait, let's get this. I'm gonna. Any
All right. Yeah, she's cute. Little fluffy butt. When people say chicken butt, it's because it looks like this. Look at her foot, Dad.
Huh?
Look at her foot.
She's dog
Are
paddling.
you swimming?
That's a chicken paddle. It's not a dog paddle. It's more of a chicken paddle. So. And
Chicken
all
butt.
right, hey, want to thank you guys for joining us this morning. We ran a little long this morning, and that's okay. We when we're having fun and we're on a roll, we're going to do what we can. And I want to thank you guys for watching and enjoying Texas 46 Radio throughout the day. And hopefully you're not just joining us just to come in for this, but maybe joining us for the music what am I trying to say, for your afternoon, or for what it might be. There we go. Yeah, get hit in the head with one of those wings. Any encouraging words before we go?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Just feel encouraged today. Do what you love to do. Have fun. Going to end the show with a New Braunfels favorite. Well, at least it's a New Braunfels song. And it's by the original artist, Mr. Bill Whitbeck. And only one S in New Braunfels. You guys have a great day. See y'all later. Oh, is it the freeze frame? I forgot to get the
Oh yeah,
music.
let's do that.
I'll do it for next week. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
There's only one S in New Braunfels. You'll find it right at the end. There's not one in the middle. Spell it with me, my friends.
Done.
There's an X in the middle of Mahia, energy in Refugio. There's two S's in Lampasas, but none in Del Rio. There's only one S in the Braunfels. You'll find it right at the end. There's not one in the middle. The next verse is in German. Wie heiße deine Käse? Du bist 3 Hotels. Wir können nicht hier rauchen. Wir gehen nach New Braunfels. There's only one S in New Braunfels. You'll find it right at the end. There's not one in the middle. Let's all sing it.